You're tired of working day in and day out, trying to find new boomer customers, chasing leads, doing whatever work comes your way, and never getting to earn what you're worth. You do it because you love the work and you're passionate about serving the boomers. We get it. What you need is more of the right boomer customers for your business and more income for you and your family so you can grow your company and help more people in your community. Well, you're in the right place because this is Booming Your Bottom Line.
Hello and welcome to episode 58 of Booming Your Bottom Line. You're going to be glad you tuned in today as we continue to bring the small business owners of America some high-value insight around the best ways to serve the explosively growing sector of the older American consumers.
Yeah, good morning, Mark. Hey, folks, the message here today is absolutely important and relevant to helping our listeners as they move into 2016 on a path to meeting real goals and making real progress with their small businesses serving the 50-plus market, including boomers and their support networks, such as family and current or future caregivers. So, folks, listen up. If you don't know who we are yet, Booming Your Bottom Line is teaching the business owner that wants to learn to work smarter with the latest trends and proven systems we've created from decades of experience in the field of serving this specific and challenging demographic. We want to help you to help more people. We want you to make much better money doing it. You can get there by serving correctly so you can reach and connect with the demographic for these next 2 or 3 decades. Either you get this right soon or your competitor will. It's that simple. Everyone is searching for these answers for their small business. It's up to you to take on this learning and make the required changes. So, Mark, about today's topic.
All right, so we ran across some interesting news this week about a national organization that's working toward what we believe in, but it appears that they're missing the mark thus far. And because of that, we felt we needed to share it with our listeners, what's going on in the industry and why there are certain things that, although they might appear to be positive or have the right intention, it might not make sense, for you or have the intended outcome for you and your customers. So we want to help you see it for what it might be so you can make a good decision about it. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Now there's some movement in the industry around creating these national service provider networks. Now there are more than a few organizations working on this, but so far we aren't hearing a lot of good news about these attempts so far, much less benefits to the business owner. Aaron, why don't you explain a little bit in detail?
Okay, Mark. So we actually wrote a pointed blog on this subject, and you can find that on our website. But we felt so strongly that we saw the need to discuss this in a little more depth here today as well. The blog's titled, Why Local Small Business Teams Will Beat Out HomeAdvisor National Database. And I'll point out up front, we're not picking on the companies in this article we read, but rather just the issue and significant concerns at hand and how it applies to industry-wide as an owner beware scenario. So on January 19th, 2016, the Washington Post reported about HomeAdvisor and a new service to help older Americans find reputable home remodeling services so they can age in place. However, we believe there's a larger storm brewing behind this news and other stories like it. In the article, the Post talks about how HomeAdvisor, an online outlet for home remodeling and repair services, has partnered with the National Aging in Place Council, NAIPC, a great organization, by the way, to launch a resource center where people can learn about aging in place, home remodeling for older people that want to stay in their homes as long as they can, and to get help finding reputable contractors to remodel their homes. This partnership by itself isn't a surprise, and in concept, it's a good joint venture for both of them to consider, don't you think?
You bet. Of course it is, Aaron. At face value, it would seem that a company such as HomeAdvisor and the NAIPC focusing on people aging in place as part of this project together would be a really good match. People need their homes remodeled for aging in place, and continued future independence. And if you leave it at that, it sounds pretty good. However, HomeAdvisor has a slew of complaints lodged against them at the Better Business Bureau. There have been stories in the past in the news about consumers not getting good service or getting scammed from contractors that they found on HomeAdvisor. And this is turning into a cautionary tale, one that you need to know about, right? So you can avoid making a mistake. And we're telling you about it to help protect your time and your money. So here's why all this is important. You can't coordinate the resources for aging-in-place home remodeling at a national level. Look, HomeAdvisor appears to be doing the wrong things, even though at face value it's definitely for the right reasons. And let me explain. In order to protect consumers the right way, you need a vetting process that proves contractors can do the work that they say they can. HomeAdvisor's process has not proven to be reliable, and some of the stuff happening that you might not know about is reflecting that reality, such as the nearly 800 complaints against them at the Better Business Bureau. It's not pretty. Now, sure, they can check licensing and bonding and verify insurance, but there's no solid way to verify a contractor's experience in the field, with their clients, and especially with accessible remodeling, or their commitment to the customer, their ability to navigate the work for older customers in this day and age. Now, these folks as clients have specific needs, different life experiences, views of the world, and unique needs in their homes that have to be taken into account. How would you be able to vet those types of considerations with an online form or standard background check? You can't. And that's a problem that HomeAdvisor is facing now, and they're going to continue to feel the ramifications of that as this plays out. Now, you see with the vetting process at the 50,000-foot level, claiming that their people are certified or whatever they might call each contractor, the actual people in need of services, they're not going to get the level of expertise that they need for modifying their homes. This can significantly compromise the chance of them successfully staying independent at home and truly aging in place. This national model for a minimal vetting system is too big of a risk to the client. And there's a bigger problem for each and every small business owner here in the U.S. that's trying to serve these older consumers the right way. These stories in the news, these complaints against them at the Better Business Bureau, this is going to hurt everyone involved in home remodeling for older customers.
Yeah, it's true, Mark. There's no way to vet that many service providers properly. Companies like HomeAdvisor are getting paid by the businesses that join the service, a pay-per-lead model, basically. And that's risky business for the homeowner and professionals alike. For the homeowner, especially older consumers, if the vetting at a national level is as loose as these complaints imply, then the client's at risk for being taken advantage of. And there's all sorts of stories about that out there these days. And for the business owner, the risk is that you're paying for potentially qualified leads, but guys, your time is valuable. If you're signing up to go visit tire kickers, you could lose a lot of time, billable time, chasing leads that might not pan out. That's expensive. We think there are better ways to build your business and your referral and lead generating network, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, again, let me be clear. We don't fault HomeAdvisor or the NAIPC for forming a relationship that makes sense. It's not like there's a manual available for all of us on how to get all these homes remodeled for older consumers. Everyone's searching for these answers in the field, and we really do applaud the efforts. In the overall scheme of things, it may turn out long-term to be a good business decision for both of those companies. Who knows? We just don't think it's going to work in the best interest of the actual clients, those older people that we're serving in each of our communities. We know there's a better way. In fact, we teach and train on a better way. Now, obviously, HomeAdvisor isn't the first company to try to cash in on helping people find local contractors. Look at Angie's List. They've done it. But it took Angie's List around 20 years, you guys, to get to where they are now. We're glad they finally got there for their sake as a small business. But here's the issue with that type of timeline for these new businesses and subscription models that are hoping to capitalize on the older consumer financially. This mass of older consumers, the boomer demographic, who started turning 65 at a rate of 10,000 people a day back in 2011, well, they'll be past the point where they need significant housing solutions in 20 years. So we just don't have time for that to sort out.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Aaron. So that being said, let's get to how we think this really needs to work. The only way to make sure that older people have what they need, and for all of us to ensure that they get their homes remodeled for aging in place, get the types of home care they need, the groceries, delivered, property maintenance, medical and social, transportation, and many other services, that will be required to solve this problem and serve these aging consumers, It's a local team concept. This is what we teach here. Look, folks, in each and every community all across the U.S., we need, in very short order, businesses like remodelers, occupational therapists, geriatric care managers, financial planners, elder law attorneys, realtors, all of those providing services to older customers and their families via collaboration with a team. Now, you've heard that any caring scenario often brings to mind the idea of it takes a village, right? Well, that's the point. By you and your company joining with others to form superstar local teams to tackle these challenges, create solutions, and take on these clients and projects to make sure people are safe, happy, and healthy at home, we can all work together to help clients better. Our vision here at Booming Your Bottom Line is that each city would have several of these collaborative networks where each member works alongside with others as needed to create project solutions that are in the best interest of the homeowner and profitable for each company. The right clients can afford you, and they'll see the value in the team approach and all the different skills and value that your team can bring to the table. This is not something that the federal government can fix, everyone. Each and every local small business owner needs to step up and begin fixing it. Get serving these clients right, and collaborating is a great place for you to join forces. And by the way, this also allows you to leverage each other's networks of clientele, people you don't have to chase the leads to get new work from. That's pretty sweet, right? This will lead each of the small business owners on your team to cross referrals and shared projects as well as better solutions for your clients, and you'll do that together.
Absolutely. Great points, Mark. So, folks, this year you have the opportunity to build your own local superstar team. BYBL's here to help you learn how, where to start, how to get it right, and what that can mean for you and your business, as well as your community in the years and decades ahead. Learn how to do it right, and then focus to make it happen. Find those compatible business owners in your own community. Take them for coffee and vet them yourself. If you like them, check their references and clients for feedback on their services and customer experience. Allow your potential partners to do the same with you. Then get a contract between you on how you'll work together. Guys, this might just be the best thing you've never done but could do for your company. We've had business owners on our Owners Chat podcast segments at Booming Your Bottom Line that have done this successfully, and their business is growing rapidly. They are ahead of their competition, and they are pulling away quickly. Many are getting to the point where they own their niche in the client cities they serve. In fact, my own architectural firm has gotten significant and repeat referrals based on this system and a conscious effort to educate and collaborate. I've gotten new projects in 5 different counties in the last 3 years on referrals. They've come from all different industry professionals, general contractors, including builders and remodelers, but also from occupational therapists, financial planners, in-home care agencies, and others. Why? Because I've taken the lead on creating this approach, and it works. Trust me. I created this before Mark and I ever met by educating and teaching in public speaking forums and then allowing myself to follow up with other business professionals that heard me speak. I got their cards, met with them individually, built that trust and rapport with the other businesses, the owners right here in my town in parallel industries. And then when I lead with giving by referring people to them, then I can wait for karma to pay me back. And it does, in spades.
Okay. Well, folks, we wanted to let you know, in the wake of having to introduce this concept under the unfortunate veil of what we see as the bad news about something going on that topically seems very positive, there is a bright light emerging from these shadows. We're already working here at Booming Your Bottom Line to make this situation better for you, the business owner, and the older clients that you want to learn to reach and serve better. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you like the types of referrals and repeat clients that Aaron was talking about just a minute ago? Of course you would. I mean, we all would. Now, we've been talking to groups and organizations all over the nation about how they can work with professionals in other disciplines. You know, we teach how you should be reaching across the aisle, not only to provide better service to older customers and their families, but also how this leads to getting bigger projects, growing your company, and earning more income. That sounds awesome for 2016, right? So during the last year, we've conducted several training sessions around these types of subjects. We've taught folks individually and in group settings how to create these critical and lucrative small business relationships. Now, we spent the past year specifically focused on showing occupational therapists and general contractors or remodelers how they can work together for this symbiotic and profitable relationship. You should learn this system and approach. It would serve you well. And the ROI for this investment in yourself is quite honestly laughable when you compare the potential growth to the cost of getting educated in a way your competition hasn't figured out yet. Now, this year we'll be continuing that push to teach America how to succeed in the service sector of older Americans and their families. We're also continuing to reach out to more of our country's certifying organizations to help their members learn how to take advantage of this teaching and make a huge impact in their communities as well as their own company and personal financial future by serving these customers the right way. Now, if you have questions about how this can work for your business and your community, drop us a note or give us a call. If you're serious about wanting to really learn how to make a difference in your future, take a few minutes for yourself. Go to bybllive.com/ready and answer a few questions for us about your business before we talk. When we get that form from you, we'll get in touch with you directly and schedule a free 30-minute consultation within 24 hours. What's there to lose in that? What's the worst that could happen? You get some great free advice? But what you really want to think about before you go, do you really want this year to be different, better? Do you want to get ahead of your competition? Are you willing to invest a little bit to be sure that you are the first to market with this approach? Only you can answer that part. But we hope you'll find when you look in the mirror that you finally reach the point where you can sincerely answer yes. And if you do, we'll be here to help you get where you need to go.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. We'll keep bringing you quality content and actionable learning all year long here in 2016. Our goal each and every week is that you leave a little more inspired today and willing to consider making real change so you can make a real difference for your clients and your community while winning in your own small business and your financial future at the same time. Thanks for listening. Until next time, be well, be bold, and boom your bottom line.